These carrots are divine. You get a dozen for a dime. It's magic. Magic. What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy, I'm Krista Don One, and welcome to a fabulous rendition of Too Early for This podcast, episode 99. How y'all living? I'm living swell. Feel free, be sure to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this live stream as well as this YouTube channel with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Okay, you can get active on my other social media handles such as Instagram, Twitter, aka X, as well as Facebook, as well. You just simply subscribe here. So subscribe at your leisure. Okay. So before we begin, I first like to say I'm a free man. I'm a free man. Okay. I'm no longer obligated to other people's responsibilities. Okay. You guys know a couple of months back, I was explaining to you guys that I probably won't be doing any more lives on Too Early for This podcast because of obligations I had at the workplace. I have one of my bosses had knee surgery, excuse me, and he was going to be out for like at least 2 months. It's been like 2 months and a couple of weeks, couple of chain, and now he should be back in the next couple of weeks. So congratulations. And I had to accommodate you guys by uploading my audio portion of Too Early for This podcast, which is on Spotify, which is on iTunes, which is on Google Play, wherever you get your podcast leisure from. You can go subscribe to me there, but definitely subscribe to me on Spotify. Got to get those numbers up. You know what I'm saying? And you can just listen to me wherever else. But during that long, extended, I wouldn't call it a vacation, a long, extended, more obligations, more responsibilities. I no longer have to do that no more. And the individual should be back in the next couple of weeks, which, by the way, I should be on vacation. I had to work just this 1 week. I'll be on vacation and I'm going to enjoy my free time. So if everything plays out, if everything plays in the cards, your boy will probably be on vacation next week. And I probably may deliver some Too Early for This podcast live episodes, constantly. So yeah, I like to also thank the morning shift, the graveyard crew, uh, you know, graveyard crew, y'all fading out. Y'all get ready to go home. You might as well listen to me while you in the process of going home. My early morning squad that gets up mad early, get their hustle on every day. I'm hustling. I appreciate you guys. Let me be a little portion of your daily Saturday routine. And yeah, happy Labor Day. I forgot Labor Day was this weekend. All right. So, got all that stuff out of the way. Let's get into the topics. We're going to be talking about Tyrese and his interview on Club Shay Shay. We're going to be also talking about Cam Newton and Dr. Brian. And I'm going to say some things on that particular portion of the podcast that a lot of people are not going to like. Some of you folks ain't going to like, but it needs to be told. It needs to be heard. All right. And then we're going to be talking about Dame Dash. He's got some financial woes, some financial problems. We're going to be talking about that as well as some random topics at the end of the podcast. All right. So, first and foremost, let's get into Tyrese. Now, for those who've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. Tyrese is an R&B sensation. He was a model. I forgot um, he used to do Coca-Cola ads and, things of that nature. He progressed into acting. He's a phenomenal actor. Been in a lot of projects. Been in the Transformers. He's been in Too Fast, Too Furious franchise. He's been out and about, all right, and that's great for Tyrese. Tyrese is going to be doing other stuff. He's got a new album coming out. He's got a new movie coming out. Tyrese has been on the car wash tour. For those who've been living under a rock, let me explain about the car wash tour. You're basically, out and about doing interviews, promoting your projects, promoting your products. And, the two things Tyrese has is this movie called 1992, which is Death Row centric. Snoop and Death Row, I think it's called Death Row Pictures. They're pushing this project, and he also has an album uh, out as well as Tyrese is Tyrese. The life of Tyrese. All right, and his constant struggle with his baby mama. His ex-wife. All that stuff. So we're gonna talk. Let's first and foremost go into Tyrese in this interview on Club Shay Shay. Now, Tyrese said it during this interview, and he also said it before he even had the interview, how this interview is probably going to be competing and it's going to do some Cat Williams numbers. Now, currently, the Cat Williams interview that Shannon Sharp had, um, it's up to like 72 million views on YouTube, which is pretty astonishing. It's pretty it's pretty big. It's really big. It's got a lot of content creators on YouTube scratching their heads, going like, how Shannon Sharp made all this money just off of the Club Shay Shay interview on YouTube. Yeah, DJ Vlad questioning it, questioning the numbers. Me personally, I can, understand how Shannon Sharp, not only the Cat Williams interview going viral, because Cat Williams is a very controversial person, and a lot of people don't give Shannon Sharp his props. Shannon Sharp, yeah, I know he does the slapstick comedy, and he's pretty active on social media, but a lot of people don't give Shannon Sharp his praise, don't give him his flowers. Shannon Sharp is good at interviewing people, and he's very, very good at letting people be comfortable and say their mind and say their piece. Okay, so Shannon Sharp is very good at that. A lot of people don't give him credit for that, and when you have someone controversial like Cat Williams, you have to know when to plug in and interrupt and to change the narrative, or well, not change the conversation. And he didn't do a lot of that with Cat Williams. He sort of like let Cat Williams be Cat Williams, and that's why that interview is still getting views. And you got a lot of haters like Steven Jackson, as well as DJ Vlad, questioning, you know, the success of Shannon Sharp and Club Shay Shay. Started attacking the man's character, started talking about questioning his dating preference and things of that nature, all types of ridiculous stuff, all because, you know, that interview has took him to another stratosphere. When when you're doing something good, there's a certain segment of people that want to put you down, make you think that what you did was not that big, was not that important, was not that great. And a lot of people did that with Shannon Sharp. Now, I'm not a huge Shannon Sharp fan. If you follow me on my sports channel, which is Just My Opinion podcast, I have done a lot of videos on when Shannon Sharp has done very well and when Shannon Sharp has done very bad. Shannon Sharp is no angel. I'm not saying he's the worst of the worst, but he's no angel either. So, to me, uh, you know, when we heard about Tyrese, Shannon Sharp's going to interview Tyrese. We knew, Tyrese, he's sort of one of those type of individuals. You don't know what you're going to get out of Tyrese. You don't know how emotional Tyrese is going to get. You don't know how philosophical Tyrese is going to get. You just don't know what type of Tyrese you're going to get. All right. And when Tyrese came, and he did the interview, and I watched it from start to finish. Um, Me personally, I don't think it's going to do Cat Williams numbers. I think it's going to be up in the millions. I think I don't think it's but it's still going to be a very successful interview, and it was a very entertaining interview as well. He was open, he was honest, he was authentic. He was very personal. He, a lot of stuff that you think that they wasn't going to cover or talk about. They talked about it in that interview. And if you haven't watched it, go subscribe to Club Shay Shay. He don't need no free plugs from me, but that, you just, just off the Cat Williams interview alone, you should subscribe to that. But this was a very thought provoking, entertaining, try understanding interview of excuse me, of Tyrese. And what I came from the interview, I have my opinion about Tyrese has never tilted or favored or not favored Tyrese. Uh, I think Tyrese is one of those guys, and a lot of people think that he's too emotional, and he I think he's one of those guys that lead with his heart. And sometimes, when you believe in people or believe in projects so much, and you put all your emotion and your appreciation into it, and it doesn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out, then of course it's going to crush you. Okay. I don't think it makes you any less of a man to cry. I feel like any man out there who said he never cried is a bold-faced lie. Every man has had a moment in their life where they have broken down due to their wife or their kids or their mama or their father. Something traumatic happened in their life, as far as at the workplace, wherever. uh, you know that I don't care how tough a man perceives or looks. All men do get emotional. Now, we don't talk about it. I don't think in the male community we don't talk about it as much as being open and honest with your feelings. I think a lot of men hold a lot of stuff to their vest, and they just hold on to a lot of stuff, and it just eats away from them. And it just gets to a point where it's gonna break you down. And Tyrese is not one of those type of guys. Tyrese, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and this is the type of person that you get. Now, does that make Tyrese a good person? Does that make Tyrese a bad person? I don't really know Tyrese, but from the outside looking in, I think genuinely Tyrese is a decent human being. Okay, and he's very passionate about things that he cares about. And he talked about, well, let's talk about the big things. First thing he talked about is his relationship with his ex-wife and co-parenting. And you can clearly tell he started pulling back what he really wanted to say, and he was kind of trying to make sure he's not he's stepping on eggshells with it, for say, because he doesn't want, because his wife is a content creator herself, and she's a life coach or a dating coach, which, to me, I feel like, look, and I've said this, and this doesn't have nothing to do with Samantha. This is just my opinion about people that give advice in relationships or in life. But when you look at their own relationships and when you look at their own lifestyle, it's not at the best standings. Okay. And they're trying to figure themselves out, and they're trying to salvage their relationship, and they have problems in their lives. I don't think those are necessarily the type of people that should be giving advice to the to people that's in the same situation as them. Okay, that's just my opinion. I could be 1,000% wrong, but that's how I look at things. All right. But anyway, he talked about his wife and co-parenting and how and he even mentioned this on social media how his wife and her team of lawyers is going to take him to court and try to get another $10,000 to $20,000 from him, because if you've been noticing, you've been paying attention. Tyrese has been working. If he's not on stage, singing, he's in a lot of TV and movie roles. There's a possibility of Too Fast, Too Furious. Uh, you know, going to be shooting the next two movies, most definitely the big movie, and he's going to be in that one as well. And I'm pretty sure Samantha and her team of lawyers know this stuff, and they're saying like, Tyrese is starting to generate a lot of money. Let's take him back to court and try to squeeze some more money out of him, because we may not get another bite at this apple. This might be his swan song as far as his prime capability of generating money. Because after the Fast and Furious, and he's just a regular actor. You know what I'm saying? And that's not throwing shots at Tyrese, but Tyrese is not this mega star like a Tom Cruise, where he's going to command the best and the biggest roles or the biggest scripts. Okay, Tyrese is a phenomenal singer, an amazing, accomplished singer. Okay, but he's not going to go back into that well of music and have that that big album, that Tyrese album that had Sweet Lady on it. Those days are far behind. Plus, R&B is dying. Okay, just simple R&B is just dying now. There's R&B mixed with gospel. There's R&B mixed with hip hop. There's R&B mixed with country music. But R&B by itself is not like it was 20, 30 years ago. Those days are far behind. So, uh, you know, this is Tyrese, opportunity to generate the biggest money that he's probably going to ever make. Okay, that's no disrespect to Tyrese, but he talked about his marriage. He talked about his upbringing. He talked about his mother. How his mother. I didn't know his mother was an alcoholic. Okay, I don't know why people just I don't get that. But anyway, I didn't know Tyrese was an alcoholic. All right. I mean, not alcoholic. Tyrese wasn't an alcoholic. His mother was an alcoholic. Okay. I didn't know Tyrese's father was a singer as well. And he's still trying to catch his big break. All right. So there was a lot of things in that interview he talked about. And he was very comedic. He was very funny, very entertaining. It was all in all, it was I don't want to give out everything on Club Shay Shay because I don't want to spoil anything. 'Cause I'm pretty sure there's people out there that haven't even seen this interview. I want you to go check it out for yourself. Tell me what you guys think. But yeah, that was an amazing, accomplished interview. And I mean, I don't think it's going to do Cat William numbers. I think a lot of people are going to come into it and they're going to get a whole new appreciation of Tyrese. Okay, I think Tyrese after this interview became real likable. And because Tyrese had had a slew of bad runs. Last time we talked about Tyrese is Tyrese was linked to tearing down a happy home with DJ Envy and his wife, and we covered it uh, on Too Early for This podcast. I think it was about nothing. I just thought that it was a misunderstanding. Now he did go back to the Breakfast Club I think it was like 4 or 5 days ago, and they didn't have a moment where they was going to just dab it up and just say, okay, let's just move on. Obviously, there was probably some things that was said off the camera, or with no camera crew there or nothing to record, where DJ Envy and Tyrese had a moment together, and I don't think that relationship is ever. I don't think that relationship is going to be salvaged and be back to what it used to be. And I thought it was so weird with that situation, because you know you're DJ Envy, you're married, and you're allowing another guy to talk to your wife. All right, and even though they say they were friends, and the same thing goes with, you're allowing your wife to go on these solo vacations, all right, and you're not even there. So, and I think a lot of that has to do with DJ Envy's choices in the beginning of their relationship, their marriage, and he had him a side piece, he had him a side chick. And I'm pretty sure the conversation in their household is like, you did some things without my knowledge, and you went to places without me. How come I can't do the same thing? And I'm pretty sure that's the conversation going on in their household. And plus, DJ Envy is going through this situation with this fraud, and with his I forgot his business partner, Pena. Yeah, his name is Pena. And that compound the fact that you was caught out here in these streets, and your side chick is even talking about what y'all did, outside your married happy home. It's kind of hard to say no to a woman that wants to have male friends. Your wife wanting to have male friends or go on solo vacation. So yeah, that I think and Tyrese is doing a press run. He also premiered his new movie, and he talked about his new movie on Club Shay Shay, 1992. That it was during the riots in South Central. It is not a documentary, or it's about the riots. It's a heist movie. Um, and he talked about that. I think that's going to be a very good movie. He talked about how hard it was to get that movie funded, how hard it was to get that movie, a movie company to distribute it. And he talked about a lot of stuff. So yeah, he also talked about how Snoop was involved, and this, that, and the third. They also talked about who's more popular worldwide, Snoop or Jay-Z. If they both walk down the street, who will be uh, uh, between the two, who would know who's who? Now, personally, you know, with Jay-Z, I think I think young people today know who Jay-Z is. If Jay-Z starts walking down the street, people are going to, you know, are going to say, "Hey, that's Jay-Z," no matter where he's at, no matter what part of the world he's in. Now, Snoop Dogg, he's just a recognizable face. He's got, he's a tall, slender brother with dreads, perm, whatever, and he's more recognizable. So I don't know what they was going with that analogy, but anyway, that was a very, very good movie. I mean, a very, very good interview. I don't think it's going to do Cat Williams numbers, but it's going to do numbers. All right. So before we get into the next order of business, let me take a quick commercial break. Okay, be right back.
You know what I don't understand? I'm going to talk about it right now. I get the views. I get a lot of them. But I don't get the likes. Like, if you spend that much time to watch the video and then you don't hit the like button, what's going on? Come on now. Pull yourself together. If you're going to watch it, like it. Get busy. You got things to do. Hit that button. You know what I don't...
Thank you, Grandma. Thank your grandma. Okay, guys, rate, comment, subscribe. Share this live stream with your friends, family, and friends, family, as well as your followers. We back. We back. We back. We back. Okay, so the next order of business is Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton, for those who've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. Cam Newton used to be a phenomenal NFL quarterback, has been in the Super Bowl, didn't win the Super Bowl, has a great career, had a great NFL career. I think he done enough to make it into the Hall of Fame, but that's later on down the path when he's eligible to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But despite all that, Cam Newton, you know, transformed from being a superstar NFL quarterback to a media personality. And he has done very, very well. Has his own YouTube channel. It's called First Fourth and One. Um, and he covers sports topics, just all types of topics. And I like the setup of his YouTube channel. I like the YouTube channel. I'm subscribed to it. Um, and I love the show. He also has a Twitch channel where he streams, and a gaming YouTube channel where he streams NFL football or college football, and has gone viral on a couple of those streams as well. But he has a segment on his Cam Newton. He has a Cam Newton channel, and I think he has Fourth and One as a channel of itself, or it may be in the Cam Newton channel. Anyway, um, he has a segment every Friday called Funky Friday, where he interviews some personality or some athlete. Funky Friday. Now, I think now this is no shots. Okay, this is no shots whatsoever. Uh Funky Friday reminds me of trying to do what Club Shake what Shannon Sharp does on Club Shay Shay. And it's a lower form interview, but it's kind of set up like Club Shay Shay. Okay, it's got the elements of Club Shay Shay. It's got the background of Club Shay Shay. It's got the furniture of Club Shay Shay. Um, but what makes Club Shay Shay better than any other podcast or one-on-one interview or whatever is, like, once again, like I said earlier, people don't give Shannon Sharp his flowers. I think it's extremely hard to interview people because you're in the seat and you have to figure out when is it the perfect time to deliver these questions to your interviewer. Do they like the questions? uh you know when the timing, when they should be on a topic too long. You have to think of questions, and I'm pretty sure he has a team of people that give him ideas for questions and things of that nature. And then you have to allow the person that you're interviewing be feel very, very comfortable. And it's a perfect balance of asking when it comes to um asking a question where you're not coming from a standpoint of you're trying to attack them or trying to expose them. Uh, but you also don't want to come off as you're throwing softball questions, easy questions. All right. It's one of those type of deals. So I think Shannon Sharp does that perfectly. And he's not the only one. I think there's a lot of people out there that do a good job. Now, Cam Newton, I feel like if he's talking to another athlete, it will be a great show. But when he starts going outside the realm of athletes and he tries to go and when it comes to influencers and celebrities, or comedians, you kind of let them, they're talented, so you kind of let their talent guide the whole process of the interview. If Cam Newton interviewed Cat Williams before Shannon Sharp, I don't think Cam Newton would have gotten those numbers like Shannon Sharp got. Okay. So, and like I said earlier, that interview was a combination of just letting Cat Williams be Cat Williams, and how Shannon Sharp is great at interviewing and no one gives him his props for it. But anywho, um, if Cam Newton is going one on one with a athlete, I think it's inside his ballpark, it's inside his realm. I think if he's interviewing a comedian or actor or actress or influencer, rapper, whoever, I think that's inside his realm. Okay. But when Cam Newton starts when he starts interviewing people that are really not known for that, like politicians or attorneys, lawyers, judges, a person with a lot of intellect. And I'm not saying those other categories I mentioned that's inside his realm. I'm not saying that none of those people are not heavily that are not, are big on IQ. I'm not saying that they have no IQ. But what I am saying is when you start dealing with people that their intellect is bigger than yours, and their vocabulary is bigger than yours, and they're not self-absorbed like yourself, then you may have an outcome like what previously happened with Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant. Now, Dr. Bryant is one of these, you know, influencers that give out advice for men, women, couples, relationship advice, just life advice. And I'm cool with people, and I'm gonna say this again, I'm cool with people. I think everyone has the right to give out advice. Okay, let me just throw that out there. However, it's hard for someone to give out relationship advice when they're not in a relationship, or they have never been in a very successful relationship. Okay. It's hard for a man to give advice to a woman when he never been around a woman where his advice helped that woman. All right. Or it's hard for a woman to give advice about men when they haven't been around a man, and you understand what I'm saying. So you have to, when you start, I'm not saying don't listen to people, but I will say this: don't take what they say to heart. Take it with a teaspoon of salt. And I'm not saying that you can't get good advice from someone you know particularly if in relationships, um and you trying to take advice from someone who hasn't established a good, healthy relationship, that's one thing. But anywho, so Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant did Funky Friday. And normally, Cam Newton, you know, uh just throws out the questions. But occasionally, and I've been noticing this about Cam Newton, and he's so self-absorbed, sometimes he adds himself into a lot of these interviews, and what he thinks and what he does. And he said something that Cam Newton is one of those type of people that just roll off the cup. Like whatever Cam Newton is thinking about, that's what Cam Newton is going to say. Cam Newton is not going to check himself. He's one of those guys where if it sounds good in his head, he's going to say it. Most people, when they think they got something that they want to tell the world, most people will just write it down, think about it for a second, and check the boxes, Google it, and then if it's something worth saying, then they'll throw it out there. But with Cam Newton, he everything comes right off the cup. So the topic of conversation was about relationships and marriage and kids. And Cam Newton, and I knew Cam Newton, and I can sense Cam Newton is going to say something that's going to put him in a bad spot. And like I said, when you're dealing with people that has a higher intellect skill base than you, and they have degrees and diplomas about psychiatry, about relationships, about when you're talking to somebody that's pronoun like that, and you say something that's out of pocket, they're going to check you. They're going to check you. Now they're going to check you in with kid gloves. And that's what she basically did. So anyway, let's just talk about it. So Cam Newton he said something like, and I want to quote him. He said his he rather basically he's saying his fear of marriage is keeping him from marrying a woman. And he would rather uh procreate and date a woman, get her pregnant, and take care of the kid, take care of the woman, obviously. And he would like to procreate as many women out of wedlock as possible. To anyone else, uh, the majority of the guys in the world wouldn't even say that. They'll think about it, but they probably wouldn't say it. But not Cam Newton. It just rolls right off the tongue, and he feels like he said something so profound. Like he basically, in his elegant way, he's basically saying that he rather, date women, have kids, and if it doesn't work out, which it won't work out, won't marry her, and then repeat the process with another woman. All right. Um, which Dr. Bryant comes and she explains to him, and explains to him that's the wrong mentality or the wrong outlook how you should be approaching. You're making broken homes, because yes, you're in the kid's life, yes, you're taking care of your responsibilities, but it's going to be impossible for you to be a full-time dad to that one child when you got five, six other children, and you're talking about having more children. Okay. And I was shocked that Cam Newton had that many kids. And she was shocked as well. She thought that Cam Newton only had like two kids. I think she said two or four. Uh I thought Cam Newton just had two kids. When I think he said that he has six and then he wants more. That's that is, you know, I as as a person, not just as a man, but as a person, sometimes you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I can understand you're in a relationship with this woman and things happen, and y'all had unprotected sex, and y'all generated a kid, and you thought you was going to be in this woman life, and you was going to marry this woman, you was going to make her a wifey, and you had another kid, but you're not thinking about moving on to another woman, and then something happened in the relationship, and y'all break up, and then you go find another woman, and you pregnate that woman, and just do the same, have the same mistakes you had in your previous relationship. um and look, I know in life everything can't be a cookie cuttered situation. Yes, you should date a woman, you know, get to know a woman. She needs to get to know you. And and when y'all build up enough time, enough understanding, then you marry the woman, and then you have kids by your married woman. I understand the order, but life is complicated and things just don't happen that way. Understanding that. And most guys and most women would just keep it, they wouldn't call it a mistake, but they will learn from that and say, okay, I have to do better for myself. Okay. The one thing I'm not going to do is repeat the same problem again with a different person. All right. So I have to be responsible. I have to practice, protected sex and things of that nature. All right. And Cam Newton looked very foolish by saying that. And when she broke down why he looked foolish, you could clearly tell Cam Newton was in a place, he was in a situation where, there's no way you can come back from this. There's no let me clarify, which he tried to do but made himself look worse. You can't joke your way out of this. You can't switch. In other words, they switch roles. It was supposed to be Cam Newton interviewing Dr. Bryant. Dr. Bryant started interviewing Cam Newton, and Cam Newton was sitting deep in his chair, sludged all over, uh, biting his lip. And you can clearly tell it from his body language. You can clearly tell he was thinking two things. Damn, I fucked up. I shouldn't even said that shit. And two, how can I rebound from this? How can I hurry up and change the subject? And he couldn't, because she was throwing facts upon facts upon facts upon statistics. She was, in other words, she was treating Cam Newton like one of her patients. And she did it in a very elegant way, a respectable way. But that was some clown shit, what Cam Newton said. And she called him out on it. All right. Now, after she just dismantled his idealisms, you know, and he learned from his first mistake by trying to explain himself, he hurried up and switched and changed topics. And then immediately started talking about her relationship. Like, she prefers dating younger men. She doesn't want to date an older man, you know, because look, and people were talking, and look, and people were saying, well, how come that it's a problem? It's not a problem when guys do this, when successful high value men are successful and they prefer dating younger women. How come you guys don't generate no noise when that happened, but when a woman who's successful and she prefers dating younger men, how come that's a problem? And to me, I think both are problems. And I always told you that. You know, I think you should date in your age. Like, if you're 40, I think the youngest you should go is 30 or 35. Well, 35. You have to date in your realm. I don't think it's okay for a 40-year-old man to date a 20-year-old woman. I just don't think that's okay, because it's so much of a mismatch. She's 20, she's starting her life. You're 40, and you understand what life is. That's a huge disadvantage. The level of immaturity, particularly if you're a high value man, your opinion is going to be, your viewpoint about life and your opinion is going to be 10 times better or different than her opinion or her view of life, because she's just started. And it's such of a mismatch in relationships. You can take advantage of someone who's 20 years old, a woman who's 20 years old, who's just starting her life, and you, an older man that's 40, you can, there's times where you can manipulate her. There are times where you can cheat her out of her life. You understand what I'm saying? And that's no different. And I always had that opinion about, men, 40-year-old men dating 20-year-old women. It's legal to do. You do what you want to do. I just feel like it's a huge mismatch. And the 9 times out of 10, the older man is going to benefit out of that relationship. Okay. And it's going to look like he's more superior than her, which he is. He's more educated. He makes more money. He's more well known than this 20-year-old girl. And as a woman, a 40-year-old woman, and I will have the same energy for a 40-year-old woman dating a 20-year-old man. That's a huge disadvantage for the younger 20-year-old man. Because the 40-year-old woman, she's been through life. She knows the checks and balances. She knows the advantages and disadvantages. So the same, she can manipulate that young guy who's just now experiencing life. She can cheat him out of his life, his opportunity to experience life. And that's why I had a huge problem with Jada Pickett Smith, and when she was dating that young R&B guy, you know, he's hanging out with her sons, and now he's dating his mother. So to me, you know, I feel like if you're old, you should date around your age. You shouldn't go. I mean, you should date around your age where things that y'all talk about, y'all have an understanding. Like your your education on political news is going to be the same. Your appreciation for entertainment with music and movies are going to be the same. Your lingo is going to be pretty much the same. The way you dress is going to be pretty much the same. The way how you carry yourself is going to be pretty much the same. Not the same, but pretty much the same. When you're a 40-year-old person dating a 20-year-old person, your taste in music is extremely different. Your taste on how you dress is extremely different. On your experiences about life is extremely different. So I have an issue with, like an older man dating a 20-year-old woman, and I have an issue with a 40-year-old woman dating a 20-year-old man. It's legal to do, and you have the right to do whatever you want to, but I do have an issue with that because I feel like that's a disadvantage for the younger person. Now, there are situations where, the 20-year-old person can be a disadvantage to the 40. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. So, she pretty much dismantled Cam Newton. And if Cam Newton had to do it again, he probably that would be the first and last time he would probably not do the interview with Dr. Brian. Or if he does do the interview, uh talk about questions not relating to you in your life. And now Cam Newton and his other baby mama, Jasmine, I think her name Jasmine something, they're on social media, and now she's trying to go viral, talking about she's trying to figure out ways to serve her man, which is Cam Newton. Cam Newton's going back and forth in the comment section with people. It's just not a good time for the Newtons. And it's funny, he did Funky Friday on Friday. That blew up over the weekend. And during the middle of this week, when he did 4th and 1, he talked about it, but he really didn't. He talked around the subject. He didn't talk about what, well, this is what I meant to say to Dr. Brian. And, he appreciate her doing Funky Friday. He appreciate the interview, but he talked about it, but he talked around. He just kept talking around in circles. So yeah, that did not look good for Cam Newton at all. Did not look good for Cam Newton. All right. Let me take another commercial break and we're gonna get back to our final topic. Okay.
These niggas come in your chat. They won't even hit the like button because you all are a bunch of motherfucking haters. Bitch, it don't cause you shit not only to be over here, it don't cause you shit to hit the like button. But never fuck you motherfuckers in real life. Huh? Yes, that won't hit the like button. This is for you motherfuckers. Bitch, hit the like button. Don't hit the like button. Fuck you motherfuckers. In real life. You hear this? Look, bitches. You don't hit the like button. Fuck you motherfuckers. And thank you for the view, bitches. These niggas.
What up, people? Get ready. Get ready for this. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. Feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this YouTube channel as well as this live stream with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Let's get Too Early for This podcast activated in the YouTube algorithm. You can also check out the audio portion of Too Early for This podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast indulgement from. And we're back better than ever. Get ready, boys. So get ready, boys and girls. All right. So last topic, Damon Dash. And I talked about this on the audio portion of Too Early for This podcast. And I talked about it. And first and foremost, for those who've been living on their rock, Damon Dash, he was one of the founders of Rockefeller Records and Rockaware. Uh, we all know about, you know, him and Jay-Z. They used to be business partners. They broke up. Jay-Z went his way. Damon Dash went his way. Jay-Z started the footsteps on becoming more independent, a bigger entrepreneur. If he ain't a billionaire now, he's close to it. All right. Meanwhile, Damon Dash, after Jay-Z exit stage left, and Jay-Z said that famous classic song. They say they don't need a hole, so I told him make another one. Jay-Z, he did. I mean, Damon Dash did have some bright spots in his music career. He still had other rappers. He had Kanye West. He put on Kevin Hart. He put on a lot of people, and he was very passionate about other things. Um, uh, I think his wife was more passionate about art and museums, and he put money and he financed that dream. He started having appreciation for that. He started doing more movies, State Property 2, and he did some other movies as well. He felt very passionate about that. He had an incident with that director. Another director took him to court and won. Um, he's got a tax. He's got the IRS on his back. He's got a bunch of backpack. He's got a bunch of back taxes that he has to pay for, child support, alimony. That he got sued and lost. Damon Dash got $10 million worth of debt. And I talked about this and how he was on Instagram talking about, you know, he no longer has money to, you know, push his dreams. And I mean, he's not broke by any stretch of the nature. That's his words. He said, but he just don't have the money anymore to just give out to people, and he doesn't have the money anymore to push things that he believe in. And he's in this huge hole of debt, and he's trying to sell his portion of Rockefeller Records. I think the biggest valuable thing in Rockefeller in that deal is the Reasonable Doubt album. Now, Jay-Z and his lawyers have been blocking this. Um, and clearly, and this has been going on for years, you can tell that Jay-Z, it would have been just easier for Jay-Z to just give him the money, and then now he owns another stake of Rockefeller Records, and he owns Reasonable Doubt, that's the most valuable thing in Rockefeller Records. It's just not the name, it's the album. um it would be easier to just do it, but you can clearly tell these two guys have 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 no love. I mean, have no love lost. I don't know what was said or what was done in the past. Now, a lot of people, Choke No Joke, talked about it. Um, how Damien Dash did Jay-Z dirty. There's some other people that said that it's the other way around. Jay-Z, um, he how he became president of Def Jam Records, and was purging away a lot of the talent from Rockefeller. Um, it's a whole lot of stories going on. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's false, but Damien Dash has took a huge hit financially, and he has a lot of debt. Now, there's an article that's saying that they had to stop the auction, because of how many people Damien Dash owes. Now, the article read out that there's a possibility that the IRS is not going to get all their money back in these that Damien Dash owe in his taxes. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted to delay this auction, because the IRS wants all their money first. Now, to me, I thought the IRS get their money off top before anybody, before whoever you owe, whoever that sued you, what medical bills, whatever. The IRS is going to get theirs first, and then everybody else comes second. Now, when I read this article, they had to stop the auction because his creditors are getting impatient and they want their money. They want their money now, and they're not going to dial J.P. Winford 8087 cash now. They're not doing that, okay? So that's what the article read. From what I'm gathering, uh, after checking out the people who's going to be at this auction, and the recent announcement of Jay-Z saying that, hey, if you give him money and that's cool, you want to buy Rockefeller Records and have a stake in Reasonable Doubt, you do know in 6 years, a little less than 6 years, all of the masters become Jay-Z's property, which makes this purchase worthless in 6 years. So it's already deteriorating in value. And a lot of people that's willing to bid for the stake of Rockefeller Records are saying to themselves, okay, why am I giving up so much money? And in 6 years' time, Jay-Z is going to own the masters, and the Reasonable Doubt album is the real value point in this deal. So I'm not even going to have control of the masters. So that's what I feel like after reading other people's going through Reddit and going through Discord and reading other articles, they feel like, Damien Dash is not going to get what they think he's going to get by selling it, and it's going to be far less, and it's not going to be enough money to pay all his taxes off. So that's where it's in line at, and that's why they delayed the auction. Now, um, Damien Dash, first and foremost, he put himself in this hole. First of all, Damien Dash, I know he ain't gonna listen to this little small podcast, but you put yourself in that hole. You're the one who invested all your own money in these ideals that didn't pay out for you. So that's your mistake, okay? Um, and I do understand. I listened to Jordan Towers' video, and he talked about all these people that Damien Dash put on. You would think they would do Damien Dash a solid and buy Rockefeller, that portion of Rockefeller Records. And then he made the comment about Drake. Won't Drake buys Rockefeller Records? There's no value for Drake to buy Rockefeller Records. Drake is not interested, you know. So there's no real reason or no real value for Drake to come in and buy Rockefeller Records. It'd be no different if you're asking, well, why come Snoop Dogg don't want to come in? There's no history with Snoop Dogg and Rockefeller Records. The only history is Damien Dash and Jay-Z, and they're at each other's throats. Um, I'm pretty sure Damien Dash would like to keep it, but that's the only thing value wise he has that will make a lot of money for him, because he's in a lot of debt. He's in a whole lot of debt. All right. Um, and he's not that interesting enough to just generate money on himself. And you saw him try to do this, try to recreate himself when he was going on different podcasts, and he wanted his own channel and this, that, and the third. He was trying to reinvent himself. But Damon Dash is really not an interesting person at the end of the day. And people are going to say, what? Damien Dash is not an interesting person? No, he's not. Because a lot of stuff that Damien Dash is going to talk about it's going to be about his time with Jay-Z. Okay. And I remember someone in the Reddit post talked about, well, how come Kanye ain't going to swoop in and buy that portion of Rockefeller? Kanye got other irons in the fire. Kanye is trying to keep the money that he already done lost with his comments about the Jewish community. His deal with Adidas done fell through, and it sounds like Kanye owes Adidas money. So Kanye is trying to keep his own head above water. That's why you start to see Kanye sell a lot of these properties, because he can't afford everything. He's not making money like he used to make. So Kanye is going to be in the same curse as Damien Dash. He's going to be another 10, 20 years from now. People are not going to be interested in Kanye West. That Vulture album came out and it flopped. It's just Kanye figured, all I got to do is just make a great shoe. All I got to do is make a great single. All I got to do is make a phenomenal album. And people are going to forget about all the stupid shit I said. And it didn't work for Kanye. So Kanye's trying to keep his own shit. Kanye is not interested in buying Rockefeller Records. Okay. And then Damien Dash talked about, well, whoever buys this, they're gonna get one of my Rockefeller chains. And it's not a real Rockefeller chain if I don't give it to you. I mean, that's how bad this whole situation is for Damien Dash. He's literally, selling everything that's worth value to get a couple of extra bucks. It's the pawn shop. It's the pawn shop effect. You have this fabulous TV that you spent like $5,000 for, and you don't have a lot of money, and you think, well, I'm just going to take it to the pawn shop. They should at least give me 3,000, and then reality sets in when you take it there, and they look at you and go, we'll give you 200 for it, because they know you're desperate enough that you're going to sell that $5,000 TV for $200. They know you're cash strapped so much that you're going to take that deal, and then you're thinking to yourself, well, I'll take this little funky $200, and then I'll pay every month to get it back. And time they finance it, and time and what you owe on that loan, 9 times out of 10 people, may put one payment in, and then they just say, F it, I'm done. I'll just get another television. It just, it is what it is. you know but that's a loss. It was a loss when you pawned it. Well, it was a loss when you bought it. It's a bigger loss that you pawned it for that little value. And 9 times out of 10, people don't generate that type of money to get, something out of the pawn shop. There's a reason why you go to the pawn shop, because you're strapped for cash. You have no other outsources of revenue. And that's the same situation Kanye West Damian Dash finds himself in. He's cash strapped, and he doesn't have the money that he had 10 years ago, 20 years ago. People forget Rockefeller Records is a distant memory. The music industry was on an all-time high. The music the music companies own the music, because you have to buy it through a vinyl disc or CD or a tape. You had to physically walk to a store and get it. Now you can just turn on your phone, pay your subscription fee for Apple or Tidal or whatever, and or Spotify, and you can just stream the music. You don't even have to go nowhere to purchase the album. You just pay your little plan, and you just stream the music that way. And it takes so many streams to make any type of money on one single. Like, if you're Jay-Z, you're not missing that money. If you're Beyonce, you're not missing that money. If you're Adele, you're not missing Taylor Swift. Uh, you're not missing that money as far as streaming goes, because you can flip it, go on a world tour, and generate more money touring than a streamed album. And the stream album, you get a small check on the side, and you happily take that check. Okay, but that's what the music industry has become. And CEOs like Damien Dash, they're dying out like the dinosaur. Clive Davis, they're dying like dinosaurs. That way of doing business is non-existent today. So yeah. So that's what's going on with Damien Dash. I wish him the best. I hope he can rebound from this, and then after he pays out all his debts, he needs to be on a budget. He can't be he can't be just throwing money anywhere. He has to be careful with how he spends his money, because that money is he's going to have to depend on that money for the rest of his life. And it's not like he can just go on tour and make money, do podcasts and make money. How many times you're going to keep telling the same old story? Okay. So, and he's not that talented. Damien Dash is not that talented. He's incredibly smart as a businessman. If I was him, I would be selling what I know knowledge wise, and sell that, into a book, or sell that into a plan that, you can, whatever, you know. That's what I would do if I'm Damian Dash. Okay, but obviously, Damian Dash is going to do what Damian Dash wants to do. All right. Irv Gotti was in the hospital. He's got a. He was. They said he was using a walker. Uh, it's just not looking good for Irv Gotti. And Irv Gotti is young. I mean, he's younger than Damian Dash. But if you put Damian Dash and Irv Gotti together, you would swear up and down Irv Gotti is older than Damian Dash because, Damian Dash somewhat took care of himself. Um, and Irv Gotti, he's been pill popping and boozing it up and it's got the best of him, So wish him the best. Okay. Other news and notes. Black Ops 6 came out. If you're not subscribed to my gaming channel, I'm Christian Down One Gaming on YouTube. I streamed it. It's a choppy mess. It keeps the game keeps crashing. I can barely do a 2-hour live stream and the game already crashes. So yeah, it's okay. Um to me, they took 4 years to make this game. This game, I'm not gonna if it didn't have the Call of Duty name, if it didn't have the Black Ops 6 name, this game would be trash. Everybody will be saying this game would be trash. I do feel like when the full game come out and they have third person mode in it, that's when you can reap the benefits of that Matrix dodging everywhere and sliding on your chest and sliding on your ass. And yeah, that's when all of those features will be appreciative in third person mode. um but yeah, when I get done here, I'm probably going to go back on my gaming YouTube channel and try to live stream for at least 2 hours. I also bought Concord. Yes, I already knew that this game was dead on arrival. I have played a lot of matches. It's a decent in between game where, if if you're playing a story game, and you want to just get away from that story games for like a couple of hours, then pop in Concord you know, or if you're playing Call of Duty and it's a bunch of sweats at this particular time, you just cut that game off, play Concord. That's it's an in-between game. This is not a game of the year. It would not surprise me that they make this game free for everybody. And then once it's free for everybody that hates on this game, that craps on this game, those same people that say this game is dead on arrival, once it's available for everybody, they'll be downloading it. That's the funny thing about critics. Everybody criticize stuff, but once it's free, those critics start playing those free games. So yeah, it's one of those crazy things. So yeah, and if you haven't seen my video, I did a reaction video, and if you guys want me to do more reaction videos, comment in the comment section. There's a YouTuber by the name of Mr. 4K, and I sort of came to his defense. He made a video that he's getting almost 3,000 views on how he hates his subscribers, on how he hates YouTube, and how he hates the algorithm, and how he hates this and how he hates this. He's not getting no love or appreciation. Nobody's donating and yada yada yada. And I didn't bash him, and I said this in the video. I understand his frustration. I just don't appreciate nor respect his delivery. And I told you guys what was going to happen, and he did exactly what I said. I told you guys that he's gonna make another video and he's going to apologize to his subscribers, which he did. And then he's going to talk about the people who are not subscribing, which he did. But the funny thing about Mr. 4K, and sometimes he even exposed himself, he has his statistics behind him as he's talking. And it shows in his graph bar that the most views he get are non-subscribers. His subscribers are pulling in views, but not as many views. His non-subscribers are there's more people that are not subscribed to him that watches his videos or watch that particular video than people that are subscribed to him. And that's YouTube. And I gave him a very important question. Obviously he didn't answer, but I said, he wants 50K subscribers. And he's at 48 or 49. And I asked him, do you just want people to just subscribe and then that's all they do? Do you want 50K subscribers and just people subscribe and then they don't watch another thing from you again? Or do you want 10,000 people coming to your videos, coming to your live streams? I would take the 10,000 people just coming to my videos, coming to my live streams, because that's going to benefit your channel greater than just people simply subscribing and that's it. Okay. And that's how YouTube works. Okay. That's the system of YouTube. YouTube really don't care how many subscribers you got. Now, if you want to make money, you want to have AdSense, you got to have at least 1,000 subscribers, which that's not very hard to do. I do think the 4,000 hour watch time, and it's at a time limit. You just can't just add it as you go with your YouTube channel. I think that's more harder to do than the subscribers. But once you meet those metrics, then you want to start getting money from your ads. You want people to donate. You want people to sign memberships and things of that nature. Um, and I understand all that. And then I was talking about people going full time as content creators. Now he's a full time content creator. You know, on my best day, and I said this in my reaction video, on my best day out of a year, I probably get 3 checks from YouTube. 3 checks, you know, and I think I'm gonna get 4 checks this week. I mean, this year. I think I'm gonna get 4 checks this year, and that's between 2 channels. Okay, you know, I'm probably gonna get two. Probably gonna get maybe 2 from this channel, but I already got 2 from my other channels from Just My Opinion podcast, and that's been doing numbers. So I always make sure I'm constantly uploading videos there. And I upload YouTube shorts here that's giving me subscribers, that's giving me interactions, but it's not necessarily giving me the numbers as far as ad revenue or donations or whatever. And I'm cool with that. Okay. And this channel was going to suffer more than all my other channels. Particularly that 2 month span, I had more responsibility and it took me away from generating content for my other channels. All right. And I told you guys that in the beginning of the 2 months. Okay. Now everything is back to normal, so to say. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I like to thank all my day one subscribers. I like to thank people that are subscribed to my channel. I like to I appreciate you guys for sticking in with me. You know, during this 2 month thing and just the channel in general. I like to thank all of you. I appreciate it. Okay, I really do appreciate you guys. I like to thank my graveyard crew who occasionally come in and check out the live stream. I like to thank you guys. My early morning squad that gets up mad early to start on their journey as far as hustling goes. I like to thank the viewership over there. I like to thank everyone that subscribed to my other pages. I really do appreciate that. I see it. I really do appreciate that. Um, and I like to thank I just like to thank all y'all. I love all of y'all. I have no issues with anybody. I would love to see you guys, and I said this on my other channels, and I say this on this channel as well. I want my comment section to be your guys' domain. It's not my domain. I want y'all to interact with one another, and what you agree with what I said, doesn't matter if you agree with me or you disagree with me, just comment in the comment section, okay? So yeah, I will see you guys next Friday with more topics. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. Episode 99 is in the book. Next time we do an episode, it's gonna be 100. 100. Okay. Also, any small time YouTube channels, comment in the comment section. Put your channel in the links. Put your link in the comment section. And if you want people to check out your channel, maybe you might get a subscriber. Definitely, you're going to get a view. Just do that. I think one of these days I'm going to do a live stream, and we're just going to be talking nothing about. All we're going to be talking about is new channels, or just channels in general that I like, or channels that y'all recommend to me. Uh, we're going to talk about those channels. One of these days, I'm going to do that. That's not going to be a too early for this podcast situation. It might be something that we do on a random time. I might do that. Yeah. So, guys, I will see you next Friday. Same bad time, same bad channel. I'm outie. All right. I'm up out of here. Deuces, outro, back to Call of Duty on I'm Crystal Down One Gaming. I'm out. I'm gone. Deuces.